We're Mike Hardy and Trevor Ricks. We've hiked the tallest mountains of the Uintas. We've competed in some of the highest national events in NCAA track and field. And we've survived 2 years in diverse places such as the Amazon jungles of Peru and the Arctic north of Minnesota. And now, we're going to show you how to survive in the Rocky Mountain Range.
So, me and Trevor are going to show you how to survive in the Rockies. It looks like we're going to get some winter conditions here in the middle of November.
The Rockies are a pretty tough place to survive in. You know, we're going to the hardest part, so it's just going to be rough. But this is why it's so critical that we show you how to survive in these rough conditions. We're making our way up to the drop-off point right now. We're coming up to my drop-off point here. Now we can't have the car come to a complete stop, so it's going to be kind of a dangerous drop-off point. We're going to slow down a bit, but still it's going to be pretty risky. Alright, we're going to make the jump here. Well, here goes nothing. Whew. Alright, well, we were a little worried about that one, but it looks like I'm off to a safe start. Now me and Mike just have to brave the storm. The snow's starting to fall again. But, well, this is where we start our journey and our survival in the cold winter of the Rockies. We've been dropped off on top of a mountain, and now it's our job to reach civilization. But right off the bat, we've noticed something wrong. We've just noticed that over the ridge, there seems to be a storm coming in. You can tell how by the density of the cloud and how low it is that it's carrying some moisture. That might be a problem for us later on. And one of our first priorities is food. Oh, no, this is a boysenberry plant. You know, if we were in the summer or, you know, earlier fall, we could have had some good old berries. They would have been rich of vitamins C and antioxidants. Since it's in the winter, we'll just have to tough it out. Hopefully we find some roots. It's looking like we're going to have to set some snares.
Up here in the lower Rocky Mountains, there's a lot of sage grass, rough grass, and bluegrass. And you can see that this is a well trail for them. And so we're going to make a snare, so hopefully we have something to eat for breakfast tomorrow morning. Yeah. So then set the loop right here, and we'll tie it off, and so when the bird comes by, slashes them, and get some breakfast. And this is just a shoelace that we pulled off of our backpacks. So it's actually not a shoelace, it's a backpack lace. That to do.
Sometimes there just isn't an easy way to descend the mountain. We're trying to find a stream that'll lead us down, but the storm that's been worrying us hits us. Now the snow's really started to come down pretty hard. We're going to try and make a fire to stay warm, see what we can come up with. It's going to be a pretty tough time trying to find dry stuff in this.
One of the most natural, most flammable things is these dead pine needles. They have a lot of natural oil in them, and so they burn really hot and really fast.
But everything is so wet and the flame won't catch.
Oh, look what we've got here.
Oh. Looks like this is a shotgun shell. It hasn't even been used yet. this will be good. This is exactly the key to making a beautiful fire. This is probably a popular spot for duck hunters around here, so that's why we're able to find this shotgun shell. You know, there's probably some other... Oh, here we go. Oh. Once again, this would normally come across this and you just think this is junk. Just looks like an old can, but this will be perfect for us to use. You know what they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure.
Okay, so here's the gunpowder in here is what we want. But my hands are so cold it's hard to even get it out. You know, you try to keep your gloves on as long as you can, but you can't. You know, a wise man once said, the only thing you could do with gloves on is pee your pants. So you gotta take it off for a few things. One of those is go and pee. But I'm not peeing right now. I'm trying to dismantle this shotgun shell. Have with you, but it's also nice for survival situations.
The gunpowder burns fast, but it doesn't burn long enough.
No! No!
Where I don't need the bottom part of this, so we're just gonna cut right through. I've been having with my shirt seems to do the trick. And finally, we have a fire going.
Fire! Fire!
Well, now that we've got our nice fire going, it's time to move on to the next item of business. So we need to start thinking about getting a shelter together for the night. To ward off bears and moose, there's about 25 different species of bears around here. So what we're gonna do is gather wood and pine boughs to form a dome-like covering, and then cover the gaps with snow. And voila, we've got a shelter when night sets in.
You know, you're tempted to go to bed. It's only, you know, it's not even 9 o'clock, and you know, if we're go to bed now, we'd probably wake up around 4 o'clock and be the coldest part of the day, and we'd just be stuck.
For a late night beverage, we melt some snow and mix in pine needles.
Drove myself some pine needle soup here. Next, this nice warm fire, nice warm drink. Kind of tastes like water with some tree.
We cover the coals with stones to preserve them, and then try to get some sleep. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. Looks like sleep isn't going as well as we planned. I had to get up, stomach was giving me problems. I threw up a couple times. You know, just living out here in the wild, sometimes your stomach just doesn't agree with it. Looks like sleep's not gonna come to us easily tonight. But morning does finally come, and it is looking like a much brighter day. We're anxious to get off the mountain, but first, we're going to check our snare. And it looks like we've got something. A small squirrel.
Oh, this is a good old squirrel. These things are, you know, it'd be great if we found some fire to cook it with, but it's such of a cheese of a time trying to make the fire yesterday. I'm just gonna eat this raw. Kind of tastes like in between something between like a steak and a roadkill. Yeah.
That small meal gives us the energy we need to continue our trek. Soon we chance upon a small frozen pond. Lots of times hiking in the mountains, you're walking on ice in these clearings and you don't even know it. So I'm going to demonstrate what you should do and what happens when you fall through on one of these patches of ice. Normally, you want to distribute your weight on the ice, going on your hands and knees. This ice is thick, and it can hold my weight even when I'm standing. Soon I fall through. The pond is not very deep, and only the lower half of my body gets wet. Now the important thing is to stay calm and make your way back towards the shore.
So immediately after you get in the water, you want to get dry and get warm as quick as possible. Well, I'm just going to do some push-ups. Keep the blood circulating. Get some snow on that skin that's been exposed to the ice. You can absorb the moisture. My feet feel like, well, I can't feel them.
As I get dry, we hear the sound of a highway. Mike goes to investigate. It's a vehicle. There's no time to stick up the thumb on this one. Mike has a small window to be able to catch this ride.
Those are the mountains we descended from. Oh yeah. That was quite the adventure. From ponds to squirrels to freezing to throwing up to eating roots and it feels good to be on something with wheels though. Good old wheels, nothing beats them. Maybe a good old cheesecake.
Our journey is over. We've reached civilization.
You know, it's great to be out in the wilderness and surviving in the wild, but there's nothing better than coming back to Mom's house and having hot chocolate and cake.
Exactly. Here, here.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.